Hi guys, this is another video that's going to be filed under my Tin Hat Chronicles playlist, and is hate speech real? First, I just want to say that Tin Hat Chronicles, it's just a funny name that I give topics that have like a conspiracy-esque or sort of controversial tone to them. You know, it's like you're wearing a tin hat, right? And everybody gives you the side eye, like, what's wrong with this person? So in this case, I want to discuss this thing that's apparently, you know, a popular subject these days, which is about hate speech. And is hate speech protected speech? And I want to kind of start by saying there are a lot of people I don't agree with who can talk freely. The like Man Love Boy Association, I think that's what they're called. I might be butchering the name, but it doesn't matter because they're freaks. Those people, I don't agree with them. I don't love everything that the NAACP has to say. The whole thing Madonna did, talking about burning down the White House, yeah, that was totally inappropriate. Everybody that's pro-life, I don't agree with what they say. I don't think it's right. And yeah, racist organizations, I obviously don't want to hear what they have to say. But, right, if you're going to have free speech, you have to have free speech. And I think, is hate speech real? Sure. Yeah. Like, you can definitely say all kinds of hateful stuff to people. Like, there's no end to the hateful things that you can likely say to a person. Do you know what I mean? If you've ever had a woman mad at you, you know that we can come up with doozies, you know, very hateful speech. So the question is not, is hate speech a real thing? It is. The question is, does anybody have the right to suppress it? Is something being inflammatory, highly unpopular, completely inappropriate, whatever, sinful? Is it enough to suppress it? I would say constitutionally, no. Now, as a Christian, there's all kinds of stuff I want to suppress, you know? But even then, there's a controversy, right? Because Christianity is very, like, multifaceted in how people interpret it. So I may not agree with the next Christian. But with that said, just because a group is overwhelmingly believed to be inappropriate doesn't mean that we can infringe upon their rights. Just period. The question isn't, is hate speech a real thing? The question is, can I violate our Constitution because enough people disagree with what a group is saying? That's the question. And it's cute, you know, it's a novel idea to want to trample over your own rights, or be willing to trample over another person's rights as if it won't affect you, because there's a general consensus, right? But it's not right, you know? And I think in this day and age, you know, there used to be a saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words would never hurt me. And then they changed that to words do hurt. And words do hurt, I'm not saying that they don't, but now it's like a society where like the existence of another human being that could say something contrary to your belief system or what you want to hear is just such a detriment, you know, to us, that we just can't tolerate it, that we must suppress it, that this cannot be allowed. And I've literally heard people stumble over themselves with political correctness. I love your comments because I love for this to be like a dialogue that we're having and not just me sitting up here because I don't know everything. Do you know what I mean? I'm just sharing my opinion. But there was a comment made, and maybe both of these people will be watching this video, God willing, where somebody referred to me as a girl. And the first thing that came to my mind, because I'm black, was it's not every day somebody calls me a girl. Okay, so two things could be going on here. They're from the South. Maybe they're a little racist. Maybe they're very old, because there are people in my family that live into their hundreds. Like when I was little, I had an aunt that was in her hundreds. So I've heard older people talk in ways that aren't appropriate to me, like older people of just all ethnicities, all right? And so I'm used to just filtering them out. Like, I just don't get offended. First of all, I respect my elders. So if an old person says something a little bit off to me, I'll just nod and smile. It's not going to be like the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? The second thing would be that I just look amazingly youthful, which made me feel good because, quite frankly, I have adult children. Like, I have children in their 20s. I have many, many kids. So the other thing was that I was flattered. Maybe he thought I was like literally very like young. Do you know what I mean? But then another YouTuber spoke the first thought I had, which was, don't call her a girl. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. We have to have tougher skin, and we have to not be offended by everything that comes out of another person's mouth, you know? And it does not diminish your cause, your beliefs, or anything like that for another person to speak what they believe. If anything, it's helpful to you. I was having this conversation, yesterday was my daughter's birthday, and I was having this conversation with some of my guests. And I was saying, you know, what other people believe is very important. Like, whether I agree with another person or not, I don't even care. What I care about is really hearing and listening and paying attention to what they are saying. Because you can learn so much about what makes a person or a group tick by just allowing them the space to speak. And a lot of times what we say, or what you may say, or what other people say, reveals more about us than anything. And are there always people? That Jesse guy, if you want to see some videos where I just completely rant and I probably don't make sense, it's talking about the fallen state guy, you know? He's one of those people who's just, he's bona fidely ignorant to me. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know who he's trolling. Like, I don't know if he's trolling the conservatives or other black people. Like, I don't know what he's trying to do. But, you know, I learn so much from listening to his foolery. It allows me to appeal to other people. And like I said, with him, there's always going to be somebody that follows him. There are people who actually take his advice and ask for his advice and want to know what he thinks. I can't imagine asking a person like that for advice, but there's always going to be a weaker person. You know what I mean? To any movement, I cringe at that word, to any cause, there are always going to be weak people who are looking for a place to fit in, who are confused, who will follow anybody, who taps into like an emotion that they're having that they can't identify, deal with, or grow past at the present, and will latch onto it. And we can't be afraid to let people speak their minds, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? Simply because a weak person might attach to it, or our feelings are going to get hurt, or they are clearly just blatantly wrong in our eyes. It just doesn't matter. The thing about free speech, the point is that you don't have to like it. I don't have to like it. We don't have to agree with it. That's not what free speech is for. Free speech is not about us kumbayaing together. Free speech is about not suppressing any speech so that everybody has a voice. And as we watch our Constitution be ripped to shreds, you know, the Constitution for what it's worth, do you know what I mean? As we find we're in a culture where just having an opinion is nearly a crime, or not conforming so that the next person can be as comfortable as humanly possible, can get you bullied. I think we just need to take a step back and just accept that, dude, everybody's not going to agree with you. Everybody's not going to say what you like. Everybody's not a good person. And those people have the right to talk and have a voice too. Doesn't matter how lame they are. It doesn't matter. And the sooner we come to grips with that, the better off we will all be. Just period. So this is a short 10-minute video. Somebody is like, you got to make your video shorter, because some of us have minute limits on our phones or whatever, which is weird, because I just honestly, I felt like everybody had unlimited minutes. I thought unlimited call, text, and data was like just universal, but apparently it's not. So, you know, with that said, yeah, we're at the 10-minute mark. I'm going to go, is hate speech a real thing? Absolutely. Doesn't mean that we should suppress it. Just leave well enough alone. Let them do their thing. And with that said, I'm out of here, you guys.